expected goal. This plan through the stages shows a new thinking, new technology, new environment, and new industry. We will greatly reduce the risk of flooding and water shortage, and plan a high-quality water environment. The government have three steps to expected goal. First, increase water supply penetration rate. Second, handle the extension project of the improvement of water simply in areas without running water. Third, strengthen advocacy and use tap water.
And here's about simple tap water project and system operation. First, planned water supply. Planned water supply is daily water demand per person. Recommended value is 240 to 300 liters times planned water supply population. The average of daily water demand per person is 240 liters, but daily water demand per person may shift because of school, tourism, commerce, and school. So the recommended value is 240 to 300 liters. Planned water supply population may shift because of policy and buildings. Those factors can affect how we estimate planned water supply. Second, water intake facilities. Plant water withdrawal is designed daily water withdrawal per person, which recommended value is less than 500 liters times plant water supply population. Because water may last when delivering, so the water we take is more than the water we use. Third, water pipe facilities. There are two kinds of water pipe facilities. One is bright tube and the other is concealed tube. Bright tube is underground. On the other hand, concealed tube is underground. Fourth, water purification facilities. The processing capacity of water purification facilities should not be less than 1.1 daily plant water supply. Last but not least, water storage facilities. The capacity should be able to meet the plant water supply for 2 to 3 days. That's all about Simple Tap Water project and system operation.
From this part, I'll introduce pros and cons. I think it is very important to consider the advantages and disadvantages when discussing anything. So I will give the same disadvantages and advantages this time as well. First of all, I would like to talk about 6 things this time: economic viability, technology maturity, environmental impact, public safety, water supply quality, and safety. Let's start talking about the first one. First one is economic viability. I'll give you a disadvantage. It's not just an individual matter to do that. Therefore, subsidies from the government are indispensable and a large amount of money is required. Therefore, if it fails, the cost is large. I'll give you a merit. Life can't live without water. If this is realized, the life after that will be much richer. Next, I'd like to talk about technology maturity. This disadvantage applies to everything. For example, the coronavirus vaccine, which is a hot topic now, is the same. It is impossible to immediately grasp the negative effects of new things. Therefore, it may be too late when you notice the adverse effects. I'll give you a merit. It will be possible to improve the technology. Move on to the next environmental impact. As a disadvantage, it is inevitable that it will cause deterioration of the ecosystem as well as the construction of dams. The advantage is that overbuilding groundwater often causes land subsidence. By introducing water pipes throughout the country, there is almost no concern about land subsidence. Now, let's move on to public safety. I'll give you a disadvantage. You all pay the same tax, but you feel sick if only your neighbors are given preferential treatment, right? Similarly, the spread of water supply is limited. Of course, some people feel unfair at that time. Now let me give you some merits. Conflicts due to water shortages occur frequently in the world. They are extremely unlikely to happen. Now, let's move on to water supply quality. The disadvantage is that if the water source is dirty, everyone who receives water from it can get dirty. Therefore, it can be said that regular maintenance is essential. Next, I'll explain the merits. Only if the water supply is clean, sanitary water can be easily obtained by testing the water supply for 24 hours. Finally, move on to the water supply quantity. I'll give you a disadvantage. People will not be able to live without useful things when they appear. That would be a smartphone called the iPhone. In the same way, if the water supply is insufficient, everyone will be in trouble and even daily life will not be possible. The advantage is that stable and sanitary water can be obtained if there is no extreme water shortage.
Now I'm going to talk about the other solutions to make clean water, so we don't need to think about how to increase the tap water penetration rate. The first one is biomimetics. We can develop a groundbreaking technology that purifies water by mimicking nature. Developed a membrane that's embedded with a protein found in all cells from bacteria to humans called aquaporins. These allow living things to filter out pollutants and get clean water into cells. The manufactured membrane relies on forward osmosis and use a lot less energy than current technologies. The second one is turning waste into fresh water. A new device could create drinking water from the sea using wave power. The SAROS, SAROS desalination buoy is the brainchild of two graduates from the U.S. University of North Carolina. Their device pressurizes water and performs reverse osmosis to purify brine. It currently produces 500 gallons a day. They are now scaling up to produce 5,000 gallons per buoy in waves that are only 2.5 feet high. And the last one is sucking water from the air. Relies on condensation and simple wind power to generate clean water from the atmosphere. It promises to generate up to 11 gallons of safe drinking water every day from thin air without the use of electricity or an external power source. A fan pulls warm air down a long metal tube and underground. Water in the air then condenses and is stored in a bell-like reservoir. I don't know. It could potentially run forever.